everyone. Welcome again to the BlueSitron podcast. And my name is Bim, and it's amazing to be back and to have you all here listening and watching as well. Today with me, I've got my amazing friend, Ozlem Ahiska Weber, and Ozlem is going to be taking us through a lot of information that centers around energy. Ozlem and I met at a group, a female-led organization actually called Lean In, Equity and Sustainability. And Lean In's mission is basically to empower women through the enablement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 5, 7, and 13. But I'm not going to say too much. It's important to hear what Ozlem has to tell us today, and also what we may and hopefully be able to learn from Ozlem. So Ozlem, over to you. Let's know who you are.
Thank you, Bimbola, for inviting me to this amazing podcast. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And if I can share a bit of my work and if it can be inspiring or insightful to anybody, that will be my biggest pleasure. So who I am and what I am doing. I'm a business psychologist, certified and by master's. And I'm also a career coach, and I'm also an image consultant. I have worked in Turkey, United Kingdom, Germany, Bolivia, Argentina for international companies holding management and consultancy positions for business development, recruitment, and IT in general. Currently, though, I'm working with women who are feeling that they're stuck in between careers. They are so comfortable in their uncomfortable zones, so they lack the confidence to move ahead. So I help them, and I connect the techniques from psychology, image consultancy, and career coaching tools. Sometimes I'm also adding the other element like spiritualism, the crystals, the sound healing or so. So it depends what the person is in need of and what state the person is in. If it's about the well-being, is it about moving and empowering the person to move ahead in. And my passion is actually to empower women to bring out their true colors and transform their careers so that they live and lead authentically. Feminine leadership is, and inclusivity and diversity are definitely my expertise areas. And I am the author of the book. Let me show you.
Sure.
Authenticity to Agility, 4 powerful tools to transform your career.
This is nice.
So it's written for the women who are in their mid-careers, and it is a personal and professional development book. It is a workbook as well that anybody can do their own work, their life story, their triggers, the colors, the personalities. There's also a test in it that they can do it on their own for the archetypals, which personality archetypes they can be dominantly working on. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I am doing. And as I said, I am connecting the image consultancy and the personality and the psychology elements together to bring out the hidden gems, personal development areas, the strengths. What are they doing more or less? How can they do and improve? The women I'm talking about. That's what I am doing.
Thank you. Before I carry on, I just want to say, I see the sun is shining around there. I am officially jealous because it's still cold in London.
The sun is coming and going actually, because it's typical winter. It's windy, it's raining, and the sun is coming. So all the flowers are like blossoming. Call this, you know what? I would call this like the spring personality type, which is the inspiring one.
Oh, Love
To
it.
me, those are the spring ones. Let's just start from there, actually.
Yeah, go on.
Personalities are like, we give them the color yellow. I mean,
Okay.
I'm going to go only for the 4 archetypes and the
Okay.
4 colors, but we all know that there are a lot of them. There's not
Mhm.
only 4 colors, there are a lot of these secondary colors, and we tap into them differently at different times. The spring one, let me start with before confusing it. Exactly like the spring, these personalities are really inspiring, spontaneous. They can just change their mind. They do the things for the change of, for the sake of changing and changing it. You know, their thoughts are so quick that you cannot really follow them. They cannot probably even follow them as well. That could make them a little bit unreliable, because you cannot know if they're going to change their mind the other day, and if you can depend on these people. It's like the springtime, everything is so buzzing. The
Yeah.
birds are chirping, the bees are flying around.
Mhm.
Every day there's a new color coming, a new form is appearing in the nature. That's how I associate the spring personality, the inspiring one.
Interesting. Spring
Mm.
personality, inspiring. I'm writing all this down because I'm also learning. So yeah, that's got my pen. I've got my pen. So you talk about bringing out the true colors, for women. So you do, you don't focus on men. This is just women that you focus on mostly. Yes.
Mostly,
Okay.
yes.
But do
Yes.
you have, male clients as well, or?
I had in the past, I had male clients, I had different genders as well.
Okay.
But for the last 10 years or so, I'm more focused on the women and the
Especially
development.
women in their mid careers, as
Yeah.
you say. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a very pivotal one because, women at some point, for those that want to have family, they go on to have family. In terms of having children or not. For those that don't have children, but they still have their families. And you also get to a point in your career and you want to see if you're elevating or you're just, on a stagnant level, on a plateau level. So what you're saying is you help them to get a boost, to jigger out of whatever, I don't want to call it a slumber, but the stagnant level. You help them to progress, to propel, to see that they're more than they are and can be more, right?
Definitely, if anybody has that urge in them,
Okay.
they definitely need to go for it. And most of the times, they might need somebody to walk their journey with them.
Right.
If you're really comfortable, if anybody is really comfortable with the whole thing and saying that, look, I'm going to do work and I'm going to grow my kids, I'm going to see them, that's also fine.
Right.
My point, more my clients are the ones that are really like, gosh, there is something, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, how can I progress? How can I learn more about myself and develop it?
And you use colors.
I use colors. I use psychometric tests.
Okay.
The way I use the colors is like, how do you present yourself? Because we have all different colors. Our skin color is different. Beneath that skin color, some of us are cooler, some of us warmer. And also our eyes, eye color, the iris, the teeth, they all make a difference on the colors that we are wearing. Wearing on us, around us as well, can have a big impact for the well-being and for our image. Let me give you an example. When I talked about the spring personality, when I said, oh, they're really like bubbly and spontaneous and so on. And these people in their dressing style, if you put them into structured jackets or so, that is like a cage. These people need to fly around in their styles, maybe the dresses, maybe do the mismatching, do all those creative things in their lives.
Okay.
For the color type, they can come from any color. Say, we also put them into the seasons too. spring, if you are very bright and warm
Mm-hmm.
and sparkling, so you need the brighter colors to bring yourself in. And then again, there is no right or wrong. If you know your right colors and you say, you know what, I want to blend in and I don't want it, so you can go to the opposite one, but you do it consciously.
I see.
And you can also use the colors to boost yourself. You can wear blue to calm yourself.
Okay.
Same goes to your blood pressure too. Visualizing blue can bring down the blood pressure.
Really? I need to tell people that I know that have blood pressure. But
Yes.
all they need to do is to visualize blue.
Yep. Surround yourself with blue and
Okay.
imagine that the blue is coming in and then it will calm you.
Wow.
Same goes to the other spectrum, the brighter spectrum like red, yellow, and orange. They are more vitality, like the sun. They give more energy.
Yes.
They boost the energy. If you feel like fatigue or so, okay, I just surround myself with a bit of red. And there are times in our lives, like really good.
Exactly. Like a lot of energy. Yeah.
Since we're talking about the colors, the green, for example, green is a very balancing growth energy.
Okay.
So you can use that one for that purpose. Purple is a very spiritual color. It is very healing. And it's actually interesting. The purple is a combination of red and the blue.
That's right.
Red, a very dynamic one, and a blue, very calming one.
Yes.
So you just get purple out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, orange is also like very vital. Yellow is also bubbly, and you can work on it.
Interesting. Interesting. And you use all of this even within the, your career coach, services. So
yes, if the person, for example, if we're preparing the person for being more visible, going for public speaking,
Mhm.
or even just having small talks or so on, what could be best for the person to dress up style-wise, and most importantly, the color-wise, because the color also has a healing effect.
Let me give you a story, just tiny mini story. So I moderated a session at an energy event, energy, so oil, gas, renewables type of stuff, last year in South Africa. And I wore red. It was a red blouse, it was a red trouser, and tucked in, and it was literally neck to toe, because my trousers was really long. I'm quite petite. Like I like to call myself vertically challenged. I love it. So the trousers was long. My shirt was all the way here. It's got a bow, but rather than having it as a bow, I just let it, fly, literally, just tied it around my neck. So there was one in front, the other at the back. So literally was covered from top to bottom. The only thing that wasn't covered was just my face, because I also had my hairstyle, my face, and my glasses. But the red really stood out. So you could spot me from, I don't know, from really, really far, literally. Obviously, because it's red, anyone knows red stands out. But this was a rather bright red. And someone was telling me at another sort of conference this year in London that, babe, you can't miss her. In Cape Town last year, just look for anyone with something bright. That was funny.
So let me ask you, how did that color make you feel?
To be honest, it wasn't about what it made me feel. This is a good question. It wasn't about what it made me feel. It was just, I knew I was going to be busy that day. It was the second day of the conference. The second days are always busy in any conference, really. especially if it's like a 3-day conference. If it's a 2-day conference, then you have day 1 and day 2 both equally busy, right? So it was the second day. I knew I was going to be busy. I had 2 sessions to moderate. I think there were a couple of other things that we needed to do as a company that I was also in charge of. So I needed, that visibility. If anyone needed to get in touch with me, they're able to point out to me to say, okay, get in touch with them. She's over there. Oh, the woman in red. Clearly, I wasn't the only one wearing red. But for some reason, I was the only one red from top to bottom. And it was also in, I think it was on LinkedIn. It was also the company that was in charge of the event also put, what I moderated on. They talked about it on their website, and you couldn't miss it. You go to the website, you're like, oh, and that makes you want to probably, at least that made me wanted to read the article to know what it was that they had written, So for me, that was what it was. But there was no feeling because I wasn't thinking about feeling, if you see what I mean. I could easily have one purple. I could easily have one white. Well, I didn't want to wear white, but I could easily have one black as well. But I'm dark skinned, and I know the black outfits would probably blend in. Maybe not quite blend in, but it would blend in. But not red. Red puts you really out there, or yellow would really put you out there. But I wasn't looking to really be yellow. And then of course with the sunshine, the beautiful sunshine in South Africa, in Cape Town, it's always lovely. I could easily have worn any other color, but I intentionally wore red because I needed visibility, not just for the moderation, but also because we were exhibiting. We had so much to do. I was really busy that day, so I'm easily found. That was my intent. So it was an intentional thing that I did for visibility.
Okay. Excellent. Red color is in the personality archetypes associated with the commanding archetype.
Right.
So the commanding archetype is like when you were describing, like it was busy and, I had to be functional, I had to be busy. Yeah. That's exactly what those commanding types are like.
Right.
They're busy, they're extroverted, go and getter, the hunters. There's no point to think too much. Let's do it. Let's go and get it. That's what red does it. And that's what the commanding archetypes are associated with that one. And for me, I associate the commanding archetype with the season autumn. In season autumn, everything is abundant. The nature is so mature. We have the fruits and it's the harvest time. So it's something like, after that season, a scarcity is coming. The winter is a scarcity. There's not much growing in the gardens, in the nature or so on. So what do? There's a commanding archetype. It's like, I need to collect more. I need to go and get it. But at the same time, I enjoy life too, because there are parties too. So it's not like keep on working. It's active. It's continuously active. That activity is different than the spring activity though. There is more goal-oriented. There is more like, I go and get it type of a thing. And that's very much associated with red and what you were telling, afterwards people would notice you, would come to you, and you actually reached your goal wearing the red. And you actually represented the commanding archetype. Here I am. Come. Right. And I am too.
Interesting. No, these things are so important to know, the whole color thing and what it does. And, you've mentioned, I'm completely green here. I'm a rookie here. Springtime being goal-oriented and obviously winter time being, the relaxing time and, the collecting, season, data. All of that, because there's not much going on and you just want to get busy and all of that. It's quite interesting. No clue about this. Are all this in your book? Because I need to buy this. Okay. Good.
Yes, they're all in the book. Yes, for the winter type as well. Like it is like there's nothing much to do. The days are short. What do you do? You actually create
yourself to do something.
Yes. Right. Progress, internal progress. Okay. Like the conscientious archetype, the blue color conscientious archetype and the winter are associated.
Okay.
for me a lot, and also the earth element, if I go into the earth too. So what do? That is all about the data, the evidence, internal processing. Let's be cautious. Think about this in the corporate world. You have somebody says, no, I'm not going to make a decision unless I have every data. And then the commanding one says, excuse me, we're missing the deadline. It's the goal here. And then the spring one says, oh my God, that is so boring. Come on. It's inspiration here.
Right.
But you see, they're all very valuable aspects.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's not that you are sitting on one archetype all the time. You might be showing a very blue, very conscientious personality at work, but when you're at home, you might be very creative, or you might be very empowering, like the green element, and you are just having this big social network. All the family and the friends are the best and the most important, whereas at work you would say, you know what, you're my colleagues. So we do step into different archetypes here and there.
Okay.
Yes, us do sit in this alone. That's also possible. But it's important to understand where we are and if it is costing us something or we're benefiting.
Okay.
That's about the self-awareness.
Okay. This is all well and interesting. I think you need to come back to BlueSitron for sure, because I want us to
be my pleasure.
Into the colors. So we sit down and we'll take one color, or maybe maybe not one color, maybe 3 colors, that have that works together, as you say, red and blue gives the purple, for example. So we're able to actually look at what that gives. We take red, the blue, as you say, blue actually helps people with blood pressure. I've learned something today. I am going to tell every single one I know, friends, family, everyone, guys, you need to surround yourself with blue. Ozlem says you need to surround yourself with blue. And that will definitely help you with your blood pressure. But yeah, so there's a lot of element to it. It's not just, showing the personality, but it's also the health and everything in between, so this is really good. I'm glad we met. I'm glad we're part of the same, leaning organization, which is amazing, leaning equity and sustainability, to be precise. I want us to still continue to talk, but we don't have that much time to literally dig into everything we want to do. So I think what we'll do is we'll definitely bring you back, and then we'll take the colors one after the other, and we we break that down, and how it impacts women, and then how this would help them to come out of their comfort zone, especially women in mid-management level, or maybe even women that want to stop, they don't want to be in a corporate anymore. They want to have their own businesses, or maybe they just want to just even be home and just, relax at home, something like that. So when I say relax at home, it's not quite relaxing, but for those that have kids, they're responsible for, more often than not, children tend to stay around, the female in the family for a heterosexual relationship, I mean, and if it's a single sex family, it probably works that way as well, in the sense that the kids stay with whoever they want to. So yeah, no, I think there's so much more we can deep dive into. Yeah, thank you so much, Ozlem. It's such a broad thing that you're doing. It's a very broad topic. Can you bring your book up again, so for those that probably did not see it earlier on can see it now? Authenticity to agility, and with all the colors. This is amazing. So by Ozlem Haiska Weber. Guys, take a good look, get yourself a copy, and yes, and just watch this space, because Ozlem is coming back, where we'll start, deep diving into the colors. And please send in your questions for Ozlem. If there's anything that you want to ask, send it in, put it in the comments. Ozlem is definitely going to see it and she will be able to respond to you. And of course, as I say, pick up the book, and she's going to be back. We're going to be talking about the colors, here and there. And also we welcome everyone, not just women, anyone that wants to know more about themselves. Ozlem is here to help in that regard. But anyway, thank you very much for being here today, because you're coming back. Thanks for being here, Ozlem. And thank you to our listeners as well. And it's me, Bim from BlueSitron. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you, Bim. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And Bim, it was really a great pleasure. And I'm really looking forward to digging more and more into the colors. And I'm really passionate about the colors too. I can drink and eat colors. I'm not serious about that. It's everywhere. The food is color. Everything is color anyway, if you think about it.
Color. Life is color. Color is life. Literally. I mean, what is life without colors? It's just going to be bland, like, gray. Even gray is a color, but
it is a color. It is a color, definitely.
Yeah. Yes. It's just going to be like bland, but we need the vibrancy. We need the ones that would relax us and all of that. So yeah, it's all about colors. So yeah, looking forward to more. So yes, thank you so much, and bye to the BlueSitron listeners. Take care.
Bye.